Um, Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. We've got Rudy in the house. So, this is going to be interesting for sure. So, Rudy, what's up, man? How are things? How are you doing today?
What up? Really happy to be here. Thank you, Mike, for hosting me. This has been really exciting. It's been a crazy couple of weeks just putting this project together. It's been a crazy life watching, watching just Titanx grow from what it was at the very beginning to what it is now has been really exciting in and of itself. So, really happy to have a place in this community and really happy to get this and excited to get this project out there. So, nice to meet you guys. Here I am.
Fantastic, man. This is great, man. I mean, so Rudy, man, you're gonna be the first NFT project on Titanx. So how do you feel about that, man? I mean, because the people who are the first ones, how you call it, the legends, they're starting off.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, it was very intentional to be the first. To be the first at anything and the first mover in this space, I think is like holds a lot of weight in and of itself. And a big goal of this project is just to be like, I don't know, like an OG project on Titan X. I don't want to say like status symbol because I don't really believe in that so much, but just something cool that really represents Titan X, what it's about, the year of the dragon, all of the things like the numerology that we're working with. I think it kind of holds a lot of weight in that regard. So it could be cool, and that's what we're going with here.
That's fantastic, man. So I'm seeing some more and more people are joining in. This is great. Revo, probably let's just greet some few people who are coming in right now. So great that these founders are fully doxed, fills me with confidence. So tell me something about the doxing part, man, because I've heard or you had mentioned in the Twitter spaces we had that in the NFT community it's actually not a thing to be doxed. So what made you to come today and show yourself, man?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think just in general in the token community and stuff, when people are out there just like launching shit coins and doing God knows what, obviously they don't want to be doxxed because they got something to hide or whatever. And for me, I really look at Titan X as something different. Like I said it on the live stream the other day, but Titan X is my baby. Titan X is your baby. Titan X is our baby. And it's really important that the community knows who they're working with, what projects they're supporting. And, obviously I'm getting out there. I'm putting myself out there in a big way. This is like my first official crypto project that I'm doing on my own. Obviously, I do have some help, but with that being said, I thought it was really important to like approach this like an adult to say and
Gotcha.
put myself out there and make it something bigger than what any of us could expect. Really, we'll see what happens.
This that sounds good, man. Sounds good. So I'm seeing there's more and more people coming in. We got 37 people in the chat, so this is great. Hey, the boss man. Hey, Crypto Vic. Greetings to you all. This is awesome. Great. So I mean, probably you, Rudy, you've seen some of my interviews. You know how I do them. I have a nice whiteboard which we can have a look at it, and we can go through some of the stuff. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen, and then we can see. So you can see my screen. So first of all, guys, nice that you're all here. I'm super excited. And before we get started, Rudy, the founder, or we saying the creator now, right? I've heard.
Yeah, I don't like the founder word, especially if you read Jake's tweet today.
All right.
I'm just the guy.
Okay. So we got Rudy in the house. He's the creator. I think creator was one of the word, which is, well, you are the creator, right? The creator of
You
Titan
could call
Legends.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
So if you wanna dive deeper into, we're gonna go deep today about Titan Legends, but give them a follow. Check them out on here. We got on their website titanlegends.win, and then here on Telegram and also in Titan Legends. This is the Twitter account. So you can have a look there. If you have more questions, Rudy will definitely gonna give you a bit more information. If you have any questions, just also I think in the Telegram chat there are some few people there asking questions I've seen. So
Cool.
you're also in there as well, right?
Oh, are you talking my Telegram chat? I wasn't even looking at it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Telegram chat. I think, yeah.
All right.
Ma-
Well,
ma-
I'll
Did,
I'll
did,
hop on. I'll catch up with it after. There's enough to unfold right now. I'm
no
kind of
worries,
just
no
like
worries.
peeking at the chat, like going back and forth. I don't want to like focus on what people are saying.
No worries. Yeah. I mean, what you could also do is just probably post a link as well there, so people are coming in here so that we
Oh
can.
yeah, I already did that. I posted
You
a
did
link in
that.
the
Ah, okay,
Telegram.
great,
Yeah.
fantastic. All
Yep.
right. So, so I prepared it. You guys probably know how I normally like to do this. We did a bit of radio of the introduction of you, Rudy, and maybe also would like to hear a little bit more about your team. So probably when we get started, we're gonna do the official introduction again, and then on the second part, we're gonna go. I'm gonna explain a little bit on the technical levels what NFTs are. I know you're not a developer, but obviously this is like kind of my interest. So I'm gonna go a little bit what NFTs are, and then probably we can talk about a bit of the value proposition for Titan Legends, like why would somebody probably would want to participate, and then what the value proposition for Titanx itself. And then on the last section, we're gonna go through some of the best security practices for people, well, in NFT, but I mean probably also just in general. I think the best practices apply to everything else, but probably for NFTs, it's even more important. But we're gonna talk about that as well. So before we get started, man, tell me something. I need to know, how did you get into crypto, man?
Dude, yeah. So actually, it's kind of crazy. I learned about Bitcoin back in, I don't know, 2012 or so. I didn't get into it. I kind of just, I don't know. I waited, watched it blow up, and then it was around 2020, and going into 2021, and I actually got a call from my brother-in-law, and he's like, "Dude, we need to do this. Like, let's start a crypto fund." And I'm like, "Oh, word!" Like, so at that point, it really like sparked my interest into the space, and kind of rode out the tail end of the 2021 bull run. Um, and it was awesome. And at that point, I was working different jobs. Like, I've always been in real estate. That's kind of been my primary thing. I literally, like, my father had a bunch of rental apartments when I was a kid. So I was like out there, I was 16 years old with a clipboard and an application, like, "Here, do you want this apartment?" And so since then, I have other properties. So I've been doing that for almost 10 years now on my own, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so at that point, like, I had other jobs. I quit my job that I was working at the time. I was helping a contractor do some management of the job sites and stuff. And at that time, I was just like, dude, I am going to make crypto my life. And I really dove deep. 2022, 2023 even got wrecked like a lot of other people. It's just part of life, you live and you learn. And I'm still here, and really my goal with this project is to be able to build something within something that I believe in, being Titanx. There's just so many opportunities in the crypto world that really present themselves in ways that you wouldn't ever expect. Like, when I found out about Titanx, it was my anniversary with my wife. I got married a year ago to that day, and it was interesting. I woke up in the morning, I was like, babe, I was like, I think I found the crypto that's going to change a lot of people's lives, and maybe ours too. And she's like, "Oh God, not another one." I was like, "Yep." So at that point, I hopped into Titanx. I actually bought it off the market, and it was, the price was going up, and then read the white paper, and I was like, "Oh shit, I need to mint some of this stuff, or I need to mine some of this stuff, I should say." And since then, I just really have dug deep into like what Titanx is and the community, and this idea kind of just hit me, and I was like, I need to do this. Like, this is it. So that's kind of what brings us to where we are today.
That's lovely, man. So probably just a question there. Were you like you bought Titanix off the market on the first day? So
Yeah.
so you got a bit of that ETH on the 8-day payout then, right?
Yeah, I ended up staking it, and I got a little bit of ETH. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's so funny though. Like now looking back on it, I was like, I would never like tell somebody like right now. Obviously, the price is low. It might be could be a good time to buy, and not financial advice, but um, yeah, just looking back on that day, I was like, it was literally just like an eight first read later moment, and it didn't work out that bad. So, and it also enabled me to start more miners. So, we out here.
Lovely. Nice, nice. So, Rudy, I want to ask you regarding NFTs now. So, I mean, you made a collection, and I think you say you also you're not completely alone. So, you had probably, I guess, like either as an NFT, well, like you have the pictures, like which needs to be created, and then you have the developer, let's say. So, like, with whom are you working with, and yeah, how did that come about?
Yeah, just I mean, I've been in the space long enough, so people that I've built relationships with in the space, and I mean the developer in particular, like him and I are tight, and like he's really on board with what I'm trying to do here. It's kind of like I'm trying to navigate this situation in a way that makes sense and pass off that information in a digestible manner because I have a lot of ideas. So we've been able to really like collaborate really well. As far as the artist goes, also turned into a collaboration process where he's been basically sending me things back and forth, and I have some background. I'm not as like taking something from scratch and building it, but like as far as like some technical background in terms of graphic design, I've been able to work with him and actually really expand this collection. So it's been very much a collaborative process across the board, I would say.
Nice, nice. That's great. That's great. So probably, I mean, we got a bit in the collection. We're gonna talk about the collection itself, which you've made. But actually, there are some people on Twitter which asked me if I should do a little bit introduction what NFTs are.
Sure.
Obviously, what I'm gonna do now is gonna be I'm gonna explain NFTs more like probably on the technical level in some sense. But then later on, I'm gonna let you speak about the NFT collection, right?
Okay, that sounds great, man. Thanks.
No worries. So guys, as you can see here, what are NFTs? I'm gonna use the Richard Hart definition because it's actually pretty good, like for the technical level, which is a very high overview technical definition, but this is actually pretty much what it is. So Richard Hart definition of NFT is a serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, which may or may not still be hosted on the internet. So why is this actually pretty true? Well, the thing is, the first generation on NFTs, what they did was, so let me back up a little bit. So, what is a blockchain? A blockchain, a very high overview, a very simplistic way of viewing it, is just a spreadsheet or it's just a database, pretty much. So, it's like an Excel sheet in some ways. And an NFT is just an entry on that database, and writing to that database costs money, or like you either paying on Ethereum, pay the validators, and those are the gas fees, and those are the people who are allowed to write into that spreadsheet. Or on Bitcoin, it's the miners, you have to pay them to write on the database. So the NFT, what happened is, since write also saving any data on the database costs a lot of money, and if you want to save a whole picture into the database, it's going to be very expensive. So what they opt in, like the NFT developers, what they opt in was they just saved the URL of that picture in the database. But what's the issue here with just the URL here? First of all, you have the URL, you have the domain. The first thing could be this domain. What if you don't pay your domain name? So you're going to lose your domain name. So whoever bought that picture, that domain doesn't exist anymore. That's one thing. The second thing would be the domain exists, but now the person who is running the server, yeah, the server is not there anymore. So whenever he goes to that picture, he sees nothing basically. He sees yeah, that picture is not there. So I made an example here, for instance, which is myserver.com/nft1.jpg, and then that picture basically is either shown here or not, so depending on if the server is there. And then the third thing, which a lot of people have done with this, was kind of sad and funny in some ways. What people did, so since it's just an URL to a particular domain, to a server, actually, you you can also change the picture what people are seeing here. So what people did was like they started showing on some of the NFTs some dick pics. So 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 there you see why this is actually on the technical level, how many things can go wrong here using this kind of using these versions of NFTs. The second NFTs, which were much better, they started using IPFS. And the way IPFS works is a bit different. And they use something called CID, it's a content identifier. It's simply just a hash. Yeah. So you have your input, which is the picture. That picture get hashed, and then that hash is just is a unique identifier. It's like a number, which is like a signature, like a unique signature, and that unique signature is saved on the database. And the beauty about this is the picture and the hash is pretty much the same thing, literally. It's you don't have and you don't have a server which is location dependent and centralized. You have a location independent decentralized signature. So I can prove 100% that this, if I hash your collection, one of these pictures here, if I hash this, I create a signature, and that signature is basically the proof that this is the original thing which I have, literally. And that's the thing which is written in the database. So obviously, this is a much better way of doing it with IPFS. So that was like probably a quick introduction on what NFTs are on the technical level. So probably just a quick question now for you, Rudy. What are you using, IPFS or this other version?
So the images are hosted on an IPFS,
All right,
obviously.
man. I'm happy that's the case, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have like later on your server gets hacked and
You all
then
get dick pics for
yeah.
Christmas.
That's exactly what happened, man. There was a collection. There was a collection of NFTs. I mean, that's how I got to know the NFTs. Then I got into the rabbit hole how this works, and I was like, let me go and see how they do it. And then I was like, oh, the server got hacked, and then they just changed the picture of whatever that ending. They started showing dick pics all over the place. So
Art.
so anyway, that's a bit probably like a quick funny story there regarding NFTs on the technical level. So guys, as you can see, a technical thing can also be kind of funny in some ways. I'm trying to make it a bit more fun for you guys as well. But anyhow, and if IPFS is the way to go, and that should definitely be used. And I'm glad that you're using that. So that's really really nice. Rudy, let's get to the collection. Let's get to the nice part now here, because now you have the collection. So for people who are new in NFTs, what is an NFT collection? First of all, let's start there.
Like for like an NFT has so many different potential utilizations. In this case, with this collection, it's a collection of generative artwork based on a dragon. So basically, like how this collection was conceived is that there's an initial character, which is the dragon itself, and then there's a bunch of different attributes. Like you have like the mechanical horns, you got like the single horn in the middle of the head, you have different color eyes, you have different color like fire breath, you have different patterns on the skin, you got different backgrounds. So you have all of like these different attributes. And what basically happens is that we use a piece of software that will take and randomly generate these images, and which is really cool in itself. And after doing the math for this particular collection, I think we got it up to about 130 different traits for
Mhm.
2,888 NFTs, which is pretty good. And there's 6 different layers. So I think after doing the math, it came out to around 1 billion different possibilities for what these NFTs could be. And now, like as far as like the rarities of them, like basically all of these traits are weighted So in this particular sale, we have two different NFT tiers, and the traits are all weighted differently. So the fire breather tier is the first tier. Those are going to consist of like some rare traits, but mostly common traits. They're a little bit less expensive. The prices in Titanx is 28,369,888, obviously for the numerology. And the second tier, which will open up right after the first 2,000, is the last 888, and those are the legendary tier. There's a distinguishment above between both tiers. Like you can see the pictures that we added in over here. Those are mostly what I would consider like the legendary. The different, you can tell by the different skins. Like to the right, there's an alien one. So yeah, kind of cool. So those last 888 are going to be 88,888,888 Titanx.
Uh-huh.
And the reason that we did this is that we really wanted to make this project accessible to anybody. So creating like, I like to look at them as affordability tiers. Depending on like what you can afford. Like honestly, I was just telling Mike this, and I have no conception of how fast these things will sell. Like it's kind of like once it's up there, like the market will decide. And as terms of like resale value or whatever, like I'm not going to make any like forward price statements. Like again, like the way that I like to compare it to is like, I don't know, however many of you guys have collected Pokemon or like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or any like Magic or anything in the past, but like it's expensive cardboard. After 10-20 years, it turns into expensive cardboard. So like NFTs are kind of like that. It's not like a centralized liquid or a decentralized liquidity pool like a token would be, but rather more of like a peer-to-peer liquidity market based on rarity and really just generally having fun with it. So again, like when minting an NFT, like especially in this case, like I would look at it as like you're building a collection, and whatever happens after that is what happens after that. As far as how they're perceived, and yeah, I'll kind of maybe unlayer some other Easter eggs later on in the stream, but in the meantime, there are 28 dragon eggs scattered throughout the collection. And basically, you're just going to have to see what happens with those. That's kind of like phase 2 of this project. So it should be pretty fun. It's kind of like a little treasure hunt. And as well as, before I forget to mention, there's also one of one ghost dragon in there that you'll see. So in the first tier, that's somewhere in there. So somebody gets that is kind of like your lucky day. So yeah, that's basically the dynamics of how that will work in the Minton.
Nice, nice, nice. So probably let me just do a little recap here. So if I understood that correctly, so we got 2,888 NFTs. That's the total NFTs, and there's two categories. The first 2,000 is called the fire breather tier, and the last 888, 800, 800, 888 is the legendary tier. And the first tier, the 2001, costs This is, I'm not gonna say the number, guys. What you see on screen cost Titanx, and that at the current price, it should be around $40. And the last 888, this is the cost of it in Titanx, and it costs $120. So in total, there is 2,888. Eight of them is 28 eggs, and they're scattered all over these two categories, basically, right?
Yep.
And then on the first 2,000, there is one of one ghost dragon. So people who are new to NFTs, somebody like me, explain what is the one of one ghost dragon. What is what's up with that?
Well, it is a picture hosted on an IPFN.
Rudy, I like that. I like that.
It's really, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like collecting like a first edition Charizard or something like that. If I want to put it on Pokemon terms,
Okay.
there's only one of them. So, like in terms of the whole collection, there's 130 different shared traits, right? That get kind of used interchangeably throughout the collection. And dependent on the weight and rarity of that particular trait. And the one of one dragon just really has its own set of traits and it's its own thing. So they're generally highly coveted by people that like NFTs. Listen, I realize that most people in Titanx aren't necessarily NFT people. I've actually had a lot of like comments in general about people being like, "Oh, well, the first NFT that I buy, it's going to be in Titanx." I'm like, "All right, that's kind of cool," but there's also like giant NFT communities and stuff, and like my goal wasn't really to like reach out to like the big NFT communities as much as it was just to really work within the community that we already have. So, um, yeah, that's basically it. It's just a one of one. No, maybe
Gotcha.
one in the collection.
Okay. Probably let's take a little here. There is a question here from Madare, and he says, what happened if the price of Titanx go lower before the second collection? The price that you pay to mint a legendary Titan legend, will it be the same?
Yes, it will. That is the plan. It's kind of done in proportion. Like there's a third, say like we'll just use rough numbers, but like a third of the collection is the legendaries, a little less than a third. So therefore, three times more expensive than the first tier, if that makes sense. So everything's done in terms of the mint, in terms of Titan X. Secondary sales, however, are going to be in Ethereum, and I'll cover a little bit more about that later. That's just basically how the major marketplaces they're not transacted in Titan X, obviously. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, man.
All right, great. I think that's it for the questions right now, but I think I understood the one-on-one Ghost Dragon. So the thing is, like, could you game it so that you get that Ghost Dragon? Is that possible?
Could I game it?
No, no, it's like could people like could I like
Oh
figure out how
no,
to?
I mean, no, like nobody would ever be able to like just figure out which one's going to be the one of one. Like basically the NFTs are minted in sequential order, so they're numbered from 1 to 2,888, and when it comes down to it, they're going to be minted sequentially. So after NFT number, I don't know if it's 19,999 or 2,000, it'll switch automatically to the legendary tier, and then continue to mint in numerical order. So 1 to 2,888. So nobody could really. It's super super random. Even with the eggs, it's the same thing, and it's kind of cool. Actually, all the eggs are like one of ones as well. Like no egg is like one another. Like they're all 100% different. So that's kind of something cool to mention as well.
Gotcha. So, well, since I'm not in the NFT thing, so regarding the eggs, let's say, right? Obviously, you cannot tell me what exactly will happen, but like an egg normally, like it's what does it like? If it breaks, whatever, there could be something revealing inside, right? That could be something which can come later, right? Something, or like I mean, is this something new you're doing, or is this something in
Um,
NFT world? This is like a normal thing to do to have these kinds of like eggs or hidden thing which reveal themselves later.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. You crack that egg, there's gonna be a yolk in there.
Lovely, man, like that.
That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm seeing Dan is saying, "I want that ghost dragon." Well, I
Hell
guess.
yeah.
Well, we all want one, I guess, right? There's only one of those.
There's only one. Yeah,
Mm.
and what's actually cool about this is that when going through the collection, we've adapted other cool traits. I should actually mention this. I haven't talked about this yet, but
Mm.
um, cool things like in terms of traditional NFT collections, like zombies. There's aliens, so those are rare too. Among other different say patterns or traits and stuff. So there's a lot of different like Easter eggs in there. So it's like if you don't get the Ghost Dragon, dude, Dan, like I'm sorry, but there's other cool shit. I promise.
Nice one. All right. I'm just gonna take that out there. Lovely. So okay, I think we saw this one before, but these are like some of the different NFTs, let's say, right?
Yeah, and there's a couple traits that are pretty cool. I
Mhm.
mean, I didn't actually included in the images that I sent to you, but like there's a third eye that's actually like the Titanx symbol, which is pretty rare, as
Okay.
well as there's the two eyes, which has the Titanx as like the pupil, which is kind of
Mhm.
cool. I tried to keep the colors pretty consistent with the Titanx green when going through like the eye color and stuff. Um, so yeah, it's there's little Easter eggs throughout the collection. We'll just put it that way.
Gotcha. So, l- um, there, like, I mean, for NFTs, the only thing I know it from really is like people on Twitter, they have their profile pictures and NFT. So I presume this is also possible with these NFTs. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%. And what I'd recommend is, I think I showed you earlier, if you don't mind
Go. Yes, we
going
can
to
definitely
the
do that.
website, yeah,
So
go to
I'm just
the Green Ring Wizard and try to say that 3 times fast. Green Ring Wizard, Green Ring Wizard. It's impossible. Just
okay.
kidding. Don't try to do that. So yeah, on this page, basically, it works just like the Titan X border tool on the
Yes.
Titan X website. But what I found is, like, when I was testing all of these things, I found that the border tool on the Titan X website kind of like cropped the image a little funny. So it was like cutting off some of the dragon where I didn't want it to cut off. So basically went and made my own. So you can just very simply upload a file and it will just put the green ring on it for you. And that's what I recommend. If you guys are going to make this your profile picture, actually use my tool on this site. Um,
Okay.
and you'll be able to generate that, or whatever. You don't have to just do it with just the dragons. You can do it with whatever. But yeah,
So let me ask you this then. In the beginning of NFT time, it was people were like, "Hey, I can just do right click save on your JPEG and then just steal your NFT." Is that different now?
like, all right. I mean, you've taken a screenshot before?
So if so I can take this now, the picture here, and well, just make that NFT. But I've seen on Twitter that you can actually uh,
Upload the NFT itself.
upload NFT itself. Exactly. How does that work now?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before, like when I used to have an NFT profile picture. And what it does is that it connects you with your wallet and you're able to choose the NFT you want as your profile picture. The problem with that in terms of Titan X is that you're not going to have that green ring. So at the end of the day, like, to me, it doesn't really matter. Like, if it's your NFT and like you want to represent that and like the community, like, I would personally, what I would do, and this is not like any advice whatsoever or whatever, and do what you want, is upload the file here and get the green ring on it, so you're actually repping Titan X within the X community.
Gotcha, gotcha. But the option of on Twitter you can connect your wallet and then
Yes.
use that NFT. That works, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that, and with these NFTs as well. But I think it's way cooler to have the green ring on it.
I gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, but definitely interesting. So I was thinking like maybe the screenshot situation has been solved, but I guess we're not there yet,
Eh,
right?
yeah, you can't unscreenshot a screenshot.
Got you, man.
So
So
be
Rudy,
careful what you're texting those girls there, boy.
Rudy, let's get to the next section here, which is the minting phase here. And
Sure.
I want what I've illustrated here was pretty much what the user is going to do. So they're going to connect the wallet to to the website. And here is just I just illustrated this as the Titan Legend smart contract. So probably just walk us through here from the user themselves sending the Titan X and minting the NFT and then all the other stuff. Could you just
Yeah.
go and explain this?
Yeah, of course, man. So basically, I actually just posted this on Twitter and in the Telegram, but the Minton site is now live as a countdown. So basically, once the countdown comes to zero, you'll be able to mint the token. And the first thing, you're going to have to send an approval within your MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet that you prefer to use, uh, typically people are using like MetaMask and Coinbase wallet. I was using Rabby wallet, and that connected with it no problem. So you can connect your wallet, send an approval, and what it'll do is it'll actually automatically calculate how much Titanx to set as a spending cap in terms of when you're going to mint the token, instead of just setting an infinity spending cap and then you send an approval for that, which is just you have to pay attention to this stuff when you're in crypto. It will actually automatically calculate that. And in fact, there's a calculator right on the minting page. So say if you're going to mint like multiple NFTs, it'll automatically calculate the amount of Titanx needed to mint those NFTs. So basically, yeah, first step, connect your wallet. Second step, set the approval. Double check the spending cap. Obviously you want to be safe in crypto in general. And then once you actually go to send the transaction, it'll send the Titanx to the smart contract, and a percentage of that is getting burnt right off the bat. 36.9%. That goes to basically the Titanx burn pool. And then at the same time, once that transaction is complete, you will receive your NFT. And the other portion of that is held in the smart contract, essentially as the Genesis wallet, as you've mentioned here. And I can cover a little bit more of that in just a little bit, but that's like really the overall grand scheme of like what you're going to be looking at mint day.
Lovely, lovely. So I mean, probably so people know, right? Is like when you send the Titanx, the smart contracts receive that Titanx, and 36.9% of that Titanx goes to the burn pool, and then 63.1% goes to the Genesis. Yeah. So probably people will be asking. I think the burn pool, people just know what that is, and yeah, it's just burning supply of Titanx. But now I think probably more people are going to be asking regarding the Genesis. I suspect that maybe you cannot say much depending where you live, but what can you tell? What can you tell the viewers?
Yeah. So obviously, like this is an NFT project. The NFTs are essentially it's an art collection. You buy, you hold, you own this NFT. You choose to sell it on secondary markets. The market can decide whatever they're worth. That's not, at that point, like once you mint the NFT, like it's out of our hands. Like we are putting this out there. And then as far as like the Genesis wallet goes, is like, put it this way, and I'll just like raise like a hypothetical question. Like, what if somebody was to maybe create a token that would benefit, or not, I shouldn't use the word benefit, but would airdrop a free token to the holders of the dragons, and potentially be able to actually have a piece of that airdrop go to the Titanx community, holders of Titanx as well, in some capacity. And obviously the numbers have to make sense. And launch that token at a time where Titanx is going up and the liquidity is paired with Titanx. I kind of wonder what would happen with that. So again, like no expectations around this. Yeah, I probably already said more than I should, but I just want to say like maybe Christmas comes early this year.
All right, man. I think people understand that, I guess. So probably the other thing I would like to ask you is regarding. I mean, we know that it's going to be 288 NFTs. What if somebody comes and just mints the whole? Can they just start minting the whole thing, like the whole collection?
No, so there's actually a max wallet set within the smart contract of 2%. So yeah, somebody couldn't mint more than 2% of the collection at a shot. And in terms of like a token distribution, that's usually like a healthy max whale wallet. Like if I'm looking at a token distribution, and I'm talking in terms of like a token, like with the liquidity pool, like a regular, token in general. I usually like to the first thing I do before I ape into anything is I look at the holder distribution. And if I start to see like wallets that are holding 3, 5, 8%, I immediately big red flag. Nope, not doing that. Typically, like 2% or less is more on the safer side. And again, that's not financial advice, but I always encourage people to look at like holder distributions and in fact, I think more tokens should have max wallet limits, but that's not for me to decide. So I just kind of set it like a 2% max wallet here.
Gotcha. So 2%, that's the 2% of the total.
2% of the total, yeah.
Okay, so that's
I think 56 NFTs.
Is that 36? Is that right?
56.
56, yeah. So okay, so the maximum a wallet can mint is 56, and well, I mean, obviously, one person can have more than one wallet, but I mean, you cannot prevent that.
Yeah, that's like there's some things in crypto that are just totally out of hand, and I don't know if I said this before. I have zero conception of how fast these are going to go. It's really like, like I'm coming on live stream today. Like I'm here, like I'm a guy just in crypto, like having fun. And like, I know people like in the Titanx community aren't necessarily like NFT traders, but I really wanted to put like a project out there that offers the possibility of NFTs working within the Titanx realm in one capacity or another. So I have no idea of how fast they're going to sell out. Like we've definitely been building up like a decent amount of hype over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's going to be a matter of a couple hours, or I don't know if it's going to take a couple of weeks. Like I have no idea. So what I can say is that I really appreciate like you guys like having like opening up the spot for me, like you, Richie, Plan A, all those guys opening up the spot for me to come talk about this project. I think it'll be fun. It kind of brings back like those like 2021 crypto vibes, like, oh, like what's going to happen next? Just like have a little bit of mystery behind it. Like, and for the people that are like asking when utility, like this is it, man. Like this is kind of what's happening here. So I really like encourage community participation. Like I want people in the community to have ideas and be willing to share ideas and potentially even collaborate on some ideas. The idea is to make this as organically as grown as possible, and starting off with the foundation, which is Titanx, something that we all believe has an amazing potential. So that's pretty much the wrap there.
Nice. Hey guys, please don't forget to like. I like to say spank that YouTube algorithm, right? So guys, don't forget about that. So Rudy, we're gonna go to what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to your site.
Yes.
So that's if you want to visit, that's titanlegends.win. And then once you're there, we're greeted with this here. And this is some more information, but we went through this, so there's nothing new here. So probably by tomorrow, on the 18th of January 2024, 5 p.m. UTC time, they need to visit the Mint Now site, right? And that's the correct one, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, there's a countdown right there. You'll be able to connect your wallet, very similar to other sites. And just to like, for all intents and purposes, I know that you and I talked about this before the live stream. It's like, I've realized that this isn't like connecting your wallet to OpenSea or something like that, or Uniswap. Like, generally speaking, and this is just like a very high level overview. Like when you're connecting your wallet to sites that you don't know, generally it's always best to make a separate wallet. I'm not saying like, obviously like we made this, like you see me on here, like we're putting out something legit, but I just want to like make that point clear, because there's so many times that people are getting their wallets drained by drainer links, clicking on a link, connecting their wallet, and boom, done. Like we just saw Mark Cuban last year do that. It was like, dude's a straight up billionaire and he's getting his wallet rugged by scammers. Like, just be so careful in general. That's just like a very high level thing. Just whenever I see the connect wallet button, I like try to remind myself that in general. So long story short, yeah, you'll be able to connect your wallet, set the approval, and mint the token right from here. And once the mint goes live, there's a little calculator again to say like, okay, you minted X amount of NFTs. You can mint up to, again, 2% of the max wallet. It shows how many NFTs you're planning on minting and what the price is of, it'll actually automatically calculate it. So if you've got 5 NFTs, it'll automatically calculate what the price is. So you'll be able to like do the math very easily. You don't have to like try to figure that out.
Gotcha. Lovely, lovely. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, just connect your wallet, make a new MetaMask address for that. That would be just good
Just general,
security
you
practices.
know,
Yeah,
you guys can definitely do what you want. Again, I put this out there. Like, I know it's legit.
gotcha.
I always like to practice what I preach. And if I'm going to preach anything today, it's certainly not financial advice, but I will preach crypto safety. And that's just a very basic way to not get fucked.
Yeah. All right. So let's just get back. I think the website is pretty much you got the green ring wizard and then meet now, and then there's some other uh, FAQs here if people are interested. So you guys can just go and visit that site if you're interested, and you have all your social media stuff up here
Yep.
as well.
Yep. Exactly.
So there's an NFT calendar here, which well, tell me about this because I'm new to NFT. What is this?
Yeah. So, like, put it this way, it's a website that hosts NFT drops that has really, really good SEO. So I think if you like went into Google right now and typed in Titan Legends NFT, they're probably coming up for my site right now, to be honest.
Gotcha.
So they're obviously handle a lot of traffic, etc. And I was able to get the listing verified. So like once the mint goes live tomorrow, let's see, what did he actually tell me? I just want to like make sure because I just messaged him this morning. He says the link will be live for 12 months. You'll be added to the Hall of Fame section, and any next events and drops will be verified much quicker. So, yeah.
I just searched for them, so he's right here, I guess, right?
Yep. Yeah. So
Nice.
you can see it's verified there.
Okay.
There's quite a few like NFT websites for NFT enthusiasts, but to
Hmm.
me, NFT Calendar is one of the best, especially because of the SEO.
Gotcha.
Their links popped up immediately almost on Google.
Nice. So now I'm seeing like the marketplace. So the most known one I think is OpenSea. That's like the Uniswap of NFTs. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Obviously, like most people that have owned an NFT are familiar with OpenSea. It'll probably be the primary place for secondary sales. I'd have to guess. Like typically, most people use OpenSea, and it's actually really important to note here. I actually see a question in the chat about the royalty. So there's a creator's royalty attached to this NFT. So when you actually sell the NFT to somebody else, the seller, I'm sorry, let me explain this again. When you sell the NFT to somebody else, there's a creator's royalty that will feed the buy and burn contract. But it's very important to note with these secondary marketplaces that they kind of got into a war at some point. Like there were secondary marketplaces that were enforcing the creator's royalty, and then there was like OpenSea that was saying, "Oh, we're a zero royalty platform." So basically, what's happened since then is that it's become up to the seller to support that royalty of, say, the artist or whatever that the creator royalty is set to. In this case, in this NFT, the creator royalty is set to the buy and burn contract. So secondary sales will actually be transacted in ETH because it's on OpenSea, obviously. And when the seller sells the NFT, they have basically the choice to opt in to the buy and burn contract, getting fed through that. So At that point, the ETH would get sent to the buy and burn contract. It gets changed into wrapped ETH, and it'll be sitting there waiting for users to deploy it at some point.
Nice, nice. So can we actually shame the people who don't opt in for that 8%?
Yeah, we're gonna make a wall of shame on the Titan Legends page.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
That's hilarious.
Actually, I like that idea. Wall of shame. They haven't
We'll
activated
have to
the
see how it unfolds. That's freaking hilarious. I never thought about that.
yeah, I was actually just thinking about that. Yeah, I think this is a good one.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I want credit. I want credit on that idea.
You know what? Give me like 5, 10 minutes. I'll get it going.
Yeah, nice one, nice one. So we're coming a bit to the end here, a little bit, Rudy. I think we are around 50 minutes. I think we went through all of this. Probably on the last bit, we're gonna do a little bit of best security practices. But before we get there, in the smart contracts itself, is there any audits on them?
No, it's I'm gonna call it like I put up the smart contract yesterday for people to read and look over, like yourself and anybody else in the community. Um, there's no official audits on it. It's really a simple smart contract in terms of like what the actual functions are of it. In fact, I'll actually go through the functions that I have access to. Um, and you'll probably, I know you've looked over this already, but I have the ability to airdrop 28 NFTs to a marketing wallet, and it's a single use transaction. So basically, it'll be disabled after the first time. Those 28 NFTs will be used strictly for marketing purposes. Um, you know, send out to people that are influential in the NFT community, maybe, or more so. I'm more focused on like the Titanx community. Just as like a thank you or whatever for people that are helping out with the project, just general marketing purposes. That's just a one-time use thing. I'll be able to pause and unpause the sale. So that is basically if something unforeseen happened, something was wrong for whatever reason, which we don't presume that will be the case. It's kind of just more of a fail safe there, just to make sure that everything's good, fix it, and move on. I'll be able to cut the supply if needed. So basically, if like the NFTs sell like way slower than expected or something, which I don't necessarily think will happen, I can actually cut out some of the supply to make them even more rare. I'll never be able to inflate the supply though, so that's really important to note. Not like a more traditional token per se, where they can just like mint a ton of supply and just dump it on your heads. Like I can't do that with this smart contract. I have the ability to change price of the collection. Obviously, like I set the price, I can change the price, but there's no plans to do that. And also I have the ability to change the max wallet. It's set at 2%. I think that's a fair way to get the NFT out there and a fair distribution of the token. And also, obviously, I have the ability to withdraw the funds to the Genesis wallet, which we've already covered. And we'll just say there might be something kind of cool in the future with that. So, that's pretty much handles like what I can do specifically with this contract.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I've just went through it. I haven't really checked deeper into it, but I just take your word for it because I just didn't have much time, guys. A lot on my end currently. So, but yeah, I mean, I think here you have the mint function, which is just going to be minting your NFTs, and I don't want to go through the code exactly here, but this is what happens. Yeah, I think so. This is pretty much clear. If you want to know what the owner can do, this is a pretty easy thing. So probably a little tip here for everybody who. So the contract address of the NFT, it's right up here. This is the one which you had sent me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then once you click contract, you can see the code here. But there's another website I like to use, and you just go to Etherscan, and then you type in deth.net, and then it takes you straight to the code of it with a much better view. I like this much better. It's much easier. You get all the necessary files. You can see it is just much better. And what I like to do is to just copy the only owner, and you just go here and search for it, and then you find all the function which only the owner can actually call. So Rudy had mentioned some of the functions already, but yeah, so you can just click through. There's also renounce ownership, as we can see here.
Oh yeah, I wanted to add that in. Like, it's not typical to like renounce like an NFT smart contract, like a minted one, especially one that can't, like, I'm not going to be minting other NFTs on top of it and whatever. So that's just like, it was just like an optional thing. Like, if the community really wanted me to renounce the smart contract for the NFT mint, I can.
Gotcha.
Just an option.
Right. Yeah. So, guys, you can definitely just type in only owner here and go through all the functions, and then you can see what all these functions do. Obviously, if you're not a coder, it's going to be probably a bit harder to do so. But nevertheless, don't worry. It's yeah, you either get a dev friend of yours to go through this, but nevertheless, you at least can see some of this stuff. I mean, here it's like cut supply. I mean, you can see what it actually does. There's more some programming here, or like some code, which is probably a bit harder to read if you're not a coder. But nevertheless, I think this is just great to actually just view some of the stuff to see how things work, so that you can actually, yeah, make it work. All right, so let's jump back and Rudy, let's finish it off with some best security practices. I mean, I think you mentioned this already earlier,
Yeah, I did.
but I mean, security is something which can be repeated again. I think this is an important thing. We don't like. I don't want anybody who is listening to me to be ever like have this issue of like, oh, I clicked a random link online because I thought there was like an airdrop which I'm gonna get $500 for free, and then get completely, your wallet gets drained completely. I actually have already like 5 people have actually DM me already on Twitter from the Titanx community, and they got like, I mean, they got fish, like a phishing attack they got, right? So they clicked a link on some random website. I think
Oh, I saw that.
one of the guys was on Discord, and he saw like 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 a not a tweet, like on Discord, a message with the link, and they're like, oh, here, this is $500 or something like that, right? And he connected his wallet, he gave permission, and I don't know, I think he lost whatever. I don't want to say the amount here, but he lost definitely a good amount. And the other person, what he did, that's why I'm just telling you guys, like, this is a reality. He lost something, I think around 5 grand, and what he was trying to do was he tried to bridge over to pull chain, and he just searched on Google pull chain bridge or something like that, and it was a fake ad on Google. So the first one you could see at the top, he clicked on it, and obviously it looks the same as the pull chain bridge, but that's an easy thing to do, guys. And he lost around 5,000 or something like that. And I was looking at it, and he was telling me like, yeah, but the site looked the same. And I was just like, oh man, I can make any site look the same. Literally, that's definitely not. So don't trust any fake ads on Twitter, fake airdrops on Twitter, or on Google per se. Just verify the URL with like 3 people or 3 sources, let's say, or the official Telegram group, the official Twitter, let's say. At least then you have it, and then probably bookmark it as well, so that you don't accidentally visit some weird site and connect your wallet. Anyway, I'm hopping up quite a bit, but I think security is just very important. And Rudy, security for NFTs. Give us
Yeah, I
some
mean,
outlook
put it
on
this way, like, you'll never see anything from us that's not Titan Legends. Win. So if it's not Titan, like always check the spelling. Like sometimes, like for instance, like they'll put like if they were going to use my or the Titan Legends website, they would put like Titans Legends. So just read every single letter counts, and that goes the same on Twitter. When you go to Twitter and you see like a scam account that's impersonating another account, usually they'll add like another letter in between the name just to kind of trip you up. Like I'll just use like a Twitter influencer like Alex Becker, like they'll be like Alex S. Becker or something like that. So always just make sure that it's either a verified account or obviously that the name is spelled correctly. That's really important. I'll speak in terms of like those phishing attacks. Like you brought up the pulse chain bridge thing, and that's a really great example. I actually remember when that was a thing. Somebody was able to run Google Ads on a fake pulse chain bridge, and people are like bridging their money into somebody else's wallet. It's terrible. But again, you just have to be so careful about what links you're clicking, and yeah, just like if it's first thing in the morning, you're doom scrolling Twitter and you see something really good, it's probably too good to be true, so don't click it. That's another piece. That's actually advice.
Yeah.
um, so with that being said, in terms of like whenever you're connecting to a wallet to another website, just it's always safe just to create another account within the wallet and connect it that way. It's super easy. It takes about 5 seconds. Just do it. It'll protect you in the long run. And then another great tool, which I'm sure you're familiar with, and most people are, is revoke.cash. Use that website, and that will generally you'll be able to go through and revoke permissions for tokens that you may have not really wanted to trade, or like just signatures on websites that you maybe not necessarily meant to connect to or whatever. I personally use revoke.cash quite a bit. I think there was did you hear about a problem with them like though like a few weeks ago, or was that like not really a thing? Didn't they get like hacked or something?
No, they actually didn't get hacked. It was more a vulnerability of Ledger, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Ledger.
yeah.
Okay. That makes
Yeah,
way more sense. I'm just like going through in my head. I'm like, oh, that seems to ring a bell. But yeah, revoke.cash is a great site that I use quite a bit. Do you know any other like sites that you trust for revoking permissions other than them?
I mean, to be honest with you, the only thing I use also revoke.cash.
Yeah.
I'm actually even scared right now to even write it down because I don't want to make a mistake of writing the wrong URL here
Yeah.
because
I did the same
I
thing.
might land on like some scammer site or something.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
okay,
Yeah.
at
Go to the
least I
site.
have it
Yeah.
here. I'm gonna copy it straight from my.
That's actually another really great security measure is copying the URL directly from where you pulled it from.
Yeah.
And another thing is just double check contract addresses. You know, like
Yeah.
how many like scam bullshit contract addresses are out there. Um, you know, you get a contract address from somewhere, you look it up quick, it looks good, and you ape into a token. Like, just double check it. Like, pull up, take the 3 seconds to pull up EtherScan, or if you're on other chains, um, or whatever, just on their scanner, just take a few seconds just to drop the address in there. If you're aping in the tokens, like check the holders, man. Like if you're seeing like straight up like a bunch of wallets that got airdrop tokens out of nowhere, like generally like you're gonna get dumped on. So check that. Like it's gonna be so you can't be careful enough in crypto. Like I mean, take it from a guy like I'm a 10 times rug survivor, or whatever you want to call it, or more. You know, not aping in big amounts, but obviously like we've all kind of been in the shitcoin game. And you just have to be so careful. If you're gonna play that game, just be safe about it and create new wallets and check the holders and check out the contract itself. Just learn the basics. You know, you don't have to be like a contract dev or anything, but it's really important to have those tools. And the more that you do that, is the more that you learn, and that kind of compounds over time. So it does compound over time, I should say. So yeah, I think
Lovely.
that kind of wraps it up. I'm not sure if there's anything else or any other questions from the community or.
Yeah, we can definitely check that, but probably I'm just gonna do a recap what you just said regarding a smart contract. So, I mean, for now, this is the the smart contract address of Titan Legends, which you had sent me. So maybe, so here I'm gonna write. So I'm gonna just summarize it as use a new MetaMask wallet. Use probably raw cash for any permission you had given. This is just general good practice. And double check smart contract address. I think that's like a solid advice you could be doing for pretty much, yeah, like in
Double
general,
check
not only
double check
NFTs.
the URL too, or like the Twitter name of the
Yeah, double
person
check
or
the smart
project.
contract slash URL
Yeah.
or and URL.
Yeah. So it's all part of the system.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, guys. So just for the outro here, guys, if you want to learn a bit more regarding Titan Legends, Rudy has been here with us. It's been awesome that you came around. And I think even much better, you have doxed yourself. I mean, probably you asked me, is like, why am I not doxed? Well, there's some personal reasons why I don't do it, but one day this is not going to be an issue anymore, and I will be doxing myself. I have no problem whatsoever, but this is more like a private issue. That's why I'm doing it. But nevertheless, Rudy, pretty awesome that people can actually see you and hear you. And I think it was pretty funny, man. So if you want to hear more regarding Titan Legends, visit their social media. Here we have their website, or visit them on Telegram or on Twitter. And not to forget, the minting is actually tomorrow. So let me just put it here like that. Boom.
Yeah, the most important part. We didn't even talk about it. The Minton is tomorrow,
Yes.
5 p.m. UTC, so about 23 hours from now. And we'll see what happens, man. I'm really excited, and I hope the community's excited, and it'll be a good time. Time will tell.
All right, that's great, man. Rudy, was awesome having you here. And guys, I'm not really. Let me probably we're gonna go through some of these questions. I mean, I cannot really see. I mean, I think this was you said this earlier already regarding royalty, Mike. Can you please explain how it works? I think this was explained already. But anyway, maybe you can just one two sentences regarding royalty.
Yeah, so basically, the royalty is an 8% royalty, creator's royalty attached to the NFT sale. So on the secondary markets, like if you guys decide to trade these things, um, the seller will opt into it because of OpenSea policy and their zero enforced royalty platform, which you can do some more research on. Um, it's an optional thing, but like Mike said, we're gonna create a wall of shame. I think.
Yeah, I really I think that's a really great idea, man.
That's
Like,
hilarious. It's just again, I can't enforce. Like I mean, it's obviously
but
in the
we can
smart
shame though.
contract.
We can shame though.
Yeah, but you will be shamed. That's hilarious.
So Madara is saying, hope Mike and Jake they're gonna receive one of those 28 airdrops. Well, that's not a question, and I cannot say what Rudy is gonna do, so I'll leave it at that.
No expectations. How many times do I have to say it?
So Ahmed is saying, Mike, you run great interviews. Thanks, man. Hey, Ahmed, I think I'm seeing Ahmed way more on pretty much all of my streams, man. Ahmed, shout out to you, man. Great. Thank you very much, man. We got Mo in the house. Airdrop is just
Woo!
confirmed now. Mo, that's it, man. And do I
No.
have more? Yeah, Mo, shout out to you. I think I'm not seeing anything here per se, so we're gonna leave it at that. Rudy, awesome that you're here. See you next time, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you again, man. Have a great day.
Lovely. So.